the same situation coming from Entity 7, for example, that they brought the Trinity that was the champion from the All Black sentence in the last season, for example. They got Steffi and Orochi as well from that Black sentence. But totally different than that is happening with Entity 7, which are winning, which are like guaranteeing the first seed for MCT AMER South. A Titan Esports is struggling some issues, is facing some like problems they are able to fix because they are really good. The coaching staff are really good. The team are really good. But so far, we are not seeing this happening in the MCT AMER South. They're struggling with some issues. They're facing some problems that we are about to see if they solved these problems now facing 9Z Global.
Yes, and who is Freya? I've never seen her at all in the field. She go ahead and getting that first ban again. She's banned out. The South has never seen her see the light of day on the Land of Dawn. But also, they're also going to ban the Yve over here on the side because she can be a menace to deal with.
It's really interesting that we had been talking a little bit about Black Sentence and the path that they need to lay forward to be successful, because I feel like in that same vein, these you have two teams here that have I want to say the same type of road, but I feel like theirs is a little bit shorter because they have those established players. They know what the dare I say taste of victory is like and what it needs to take to go and be victorious. They just need to put that together with the teammates. Just because you've got great players on one team doesn't mean you're going to immediately have that success and that synergy. It's going to take you some time here. Still, as we take a look at some of these bans out there, I do see like Sora, Boxia still out there for both of these teams as well. Wondering if that Boxia is going to probably be that last ban here for the side of Titan Esports Club.
Yeah, so Titan Esports here banning Harley as the 9Z Global banning Harley here as the first time ban phase here. Zunshin and Freya or Titan Esports, I think that they are banning Fulvius, for example, or Baxia or Fulvius. Fulvius is the first of the last ban here, like coming out for Titan Esports. We're about to see now how 9Z Global is going to work. There's still Baxia open. I don't know. I don't think that they're going to start with Claude, for example, guaranteeing the Marksman and the gold lane. That could be interesting. But I believe there's probably going to be Baxia here, the first pick.
Yeah, there are a lot of things open right now. The Harith, the Baxia, Sora. A lot of options, yeah. There's a lot of options here for each team to choose. So we'll see what they end up going with here. We're still waiting to see what they feel would be the best pick first. And of course, there it is.
I feel like this was a purposeful draft too, because you take out the Phoveus and you leave the Boxia open, which is, yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say, is you leave the Boxia open, that's gonna be the priority. And now that you've taken Phoveus off there, you've taken a big threat from Harith off of the board, which is gonna allow you to pick him up there. This does kind of allow, I wanna say, the possibility of a Granger coming out for the side of 9Z Globant as well, but we'll have to see how the draft kind of unwinds there. But I feel like this is possibly the plan that we were looking for on the side of Titan Esports. And then, yeah, you bring out the Valentina because you've already taken off her biggest threat as well.
Yeah, so and that's an interesting fact here between these two teams. They face each other on Swiss stage, and it was 2-0 for Titan Esports. So there is still more like things to get, like more sauce in this classic here, in this duel versus among these two teams. But the response for Titan Esports was really, really strong here, coming out with Harith and Valentina. Now we're seeing which 9Z Globant is about to bring. A carry, maybe Kalia? No, Gloom. Okay, alright, so they got two tankies, and to avoid any kind of problem, they guarantee one of the counters, like one of the natural counters for tankies, that is carry. Good play.
Yeah, carry can be good late, but is she okay to go up against a Harith? Like in the start? I mean, he's pretty dashy as well and able to kind of dish that damage on her. They left that Sora open. I wonder if Titan Esports would pick that up. I know they'll have both the Valentina and the Sora. I know they were trying to block 9Z from gaining that additional Sora there, but interesting.
Now I'm wondering where we're going to go on the side, because I feel like we need some type of capture. You're right when you brought up the Kalea, but maybe they're kind of waiting to bring the Kalea out against something like the Harley. They don't want to kind of dip into that well just yet here to try to take down the Harith. But I still feel like we need something to kind of be able to iron down onto the Harith, possibly something like a Cho that could be able to kind of really isolate him and negate a lot of what he brings, the mobility that he brings to a lot of these fights as well. Here, I feel like we've got a very front line heavy type of composition. I feel like a very basic composition coming out from 9Z Globant, where you've got that tanky front line, you're trying to create that distance and that CC so Carry can kind of go off with that speedy light wheel. But on the side of Titan Esports, you've got a lot of ability to close that distance, to get to that back line. I mean, Valentina and Harith we already know how well that they can dash through here. Suyo, though, can just burst through the entire front line if he wants to kind of get to that back line to get in and close the distance on the Carry. So it's going to be very interesting with these compositions as we move into the second banning phase.
Yeah, so as we're seeing here now, Titan Esports guaranteeing the ban from Lunox. And Lunox are now we're seeing Yuzong coming out from a 9Z Globant. It's a very interesting focus here, probably in the mid lane and the XP lane here with 9Z. For the XP lane here, I believe that could be the last one, could be the Lapu here for Arctic, for example, or yeah, maybe. But now let's see, let's wait for the last choice of a ban here coming up for both teams. But still assuming here there's a lack of especially in the mid lane for a 9Z Globant. There is still some heroes open, like okay, Farsa is one of them, but no Zunshin. I changed my mind. No Zunshin, no Ivy, no Farsa, no Lunox. Maybe Lilia.
Zetian.
Or Zetian for the early game.
Yeah, with the CC will be helpful for him, I think. Yeah, so if they did pick that up, I think that would be a great choice for them in some way to kind of stop them in their tracks and kind of give the upper hand to the team to kind of go in on that.
The only issue is Zacian. You pick up the Zacian, you're giving the Rage of the Phoenix, Fury of the Phoenix to Valentina as well. If you pick up the Lilia, you negate the Valentina if you pick up the Lilia. However, if this is not a prime Lilia type of game, you've got too much mobility on the side of Titan Esports for Lilia and those Gloom Bombs to really be able to do the damage and have the impact that you want on them. The only other thing I was gonna say is in the north, we've been seeing Gord out there, which has been kind of funny because he has a decent. He can pretty much spam out his stun a lot of the times there, and if you combine that with that stun with Glue's engagement as well, you would be able to, especially with the Mystic Gush, you'd be able to burst down this fairly squishy lineup from Titan Esports, but not with the Khalid and a Valentina, because they will burst down a Gord in seconds.
Yes.
I don't know. For me, I feel like they could pick up a Kimmy. I don't know.
Yeah,
Kimmy's mobile. I don't know. Here we are trying to guess. We're going, what is it? Come on, guys.
No, but it makes sense. No, she has the range, she has like this mobility thing versus Khalid and Valentina. That could be very interesting to a 9Z Globant. But now
okay.
Louis.
They want that teleporting, so that's gonna be really great for them to get around the map.
When it comes to the duality here, for example, and versus some mobile heroes with some ability as like Harriet and Valentina, I don't know. Maybe 9Z could work really well with the macro, especially with the teleport ultimate from Louis. That could be very interesting. But with the composition which is not a very melee one coming out from Titan Esports, maybe okay, maybe it could work, but I'm not so sure.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I love Louis. It's one of my favorite mages to play. However, you have a very mobile group. You're gonna have to be the most fantastic Liu Yi player to be able to kind of lock down a lot of these players with that damage. And I feel like she is a little bit slower when it comes to her scaling to where she actually is doing a decent amount of damage. I feel like we're really leaning on those diversions to be able to surprise Titan Esports. And I mean, if it's the diversions you're going to be leaning on and your whole team is on board, I feel like that could be something that upsets Titan here.
Yeah, and especially when it comes to a Titan Esports composition with a very high mobility here, but we are about to see what is going to happen here because, ladies and gentlemen and folks, welcome once again to the Land of Dawn. This is the first game of the second match. Here, 9Z Globant versus Titan Esports. It's a now or never situation. Let's go, my friend partner.
Yeah, both of these teams fighting for their position in the playoffs. One of these teams will be moving forward. One of these teams will be going home. Neither one see that prospect as generous for them, so they're going to be fighting for all their worth.
Yeah, so now we're seeing here the first minute. Oh, here they come!
Yeah, and this is what we were already. Oh man, and down goes Steffi. I believe that was the magic worship that came out from Fashion to be able to tick down. Even he had left the fight like 3 seconds ago and still got taken down, ticking damage coming out from that Liu Yi pick.
I saw a ghost with the spiritual hammer or something to guarantee the kill on Steffi. Now it comes the first blood here for 9Z Globant. 40 seconds for the first turtle. That could be interesting for a 9Z Globant composition so far, but oh, Steffi, what are you doing? Okay.
Yeah, Steffi, I mean, I know you want to be aggressive on this Khalid pick, but man, and it's so funny too, because we were talking about how worth and how the scaling of Fashion on this Liu Yi, and then immediately he's able to pick up a kill, the first blood for 9Z Globant. Taking a look at some of the items, yeah, it does seem like we have that worship on the Liu Yi as well, so that was going to be what killed Steffi as well. So they're going to need to reset, kind of think about some of these engagements, especially when you're kind of losing the early game advantage that you want to have with the Valentina and the Khalid pick, who dish out a decent amount of damage. Chino going into the back line against 3 members, immediately tries to latch on, but this might be a poor choice as Chino able to take down Hotun.
Yeah, another kill for 9Z Globant and the first total guarantee by the team. And it was a really clever here because we were talking about like Louis' situation versus some mobility heroes, but now something is happening in the jungler of Titan Esports. We're not seeing that, but in the little map we can see that Suyo was taking so much damage, Private, that he was forced to head back to the base.
If I could have a dream, it would be to see the top part of this map to see what happened in that fight over there. Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to. We do stick on the Chino and Arctic. Arctic, who will have to go back to base, and that's going to go ahead and lose him a few minions here if he decides. Oh, actually, yeah, he decides no. The minions are not worth trying to lose. He wants to go back into it to try to clean that up underneath his lane there. 2-0 right now for 9Z Globant.
Yeah, 2-1-0, 2-0 here for 9Z Global. Oh, Arctic!
Oh, Arctic, what a play! He almost gets taken out as Alburo Crazy dives underneath the tower, immediately goes into Bravest Fighter form, puts out a stun, and then able to find his way and escape. A great play by Arctic.
9Z Globant here activating the turbo mode, playing so aggressive. And I was trying to talk about like Louis' situation here, like versus some with mobility heroes from a Titan Esports. They compensate this playing together. Louis, Burquist with Hilda, which has like the speedy movement, and Luizinho with the Boxer and the Beyblade mode, for example. So they compensate somehow this lack of mobility coming out from fishing, you know. But Crazy, my goodness.
Yeah, he's gonna get caught here by Steffi, but Luizinho is right there to be able to cut them off. Now in a great position is 9Z Globant for this next Lord. Steffi looking for an angle to get in here. From the back, in comes Arctic, but now taken in between all the members of 9Z Globant. Oh, Chino still able to find the kill onto Arctic.
Yeah, so another kill here for Chino. This glue is on fire. 3-0 so far for 9Z Globant. Another turtle. What a very interesting and very good early game coming out from a 9Z Globant. As we see Chino with the Patrick skin once again. But now the purple buffs could be in trouble. Oh no, Hotun was able to defend. Hotun was able to guarantee, while a Border Crazy is always like causing trouble, causing pressure. Oh my goodness, what in the world is this Hilda?
Yeah, you can see up at the top. Ooh, Luizinho just narrowly misses hitting Fury. Steffi gonna go ahead, interrupt that spin from the 9Z Globant jungler. On the backside, Syndrak putting on the damage onto Alburo Crazy, who, I mean, pretty tanky right now. There's not gonna be much that's stopping him. I feel like on the task of roams who are being a nuisance, Alburo Crazy really doing a great job of trying to kind of enforce the will there. Arctic taking some damage there from Feshin, is gonna back off to try to defend this mid tower.
Yeah, but the tempo here could not be very interesting for 9Z, because when Gusta La Gusta was heading back in the base to regen the HP, Boro Crazy was like playing aggressive and he took some damage, so he was able to head back. And the things that could for Gusta La Gusta could be a very worse. But now Boro Crazy versus Steffi. Syndra is heading up now from the top lane. Sky Peters for Hotun. I don't know. Is it the first item though?
Yeah, I mean, you're really expecting to have a good game, especially since you already have a death on your hands there. Next turtle is up, as you can see it down there. It's gonna be the third and final. I believe that's the final turtle for this game, as 9Z Globant trying to get there very quickly. Oh, and a little bit of an engagement. Steffi in trouble, is not able to get away. Even tried to use the Raging Sandstorm, but it was not enough. Arctic gets taken, is able to take down Feshin onto the backside. A lot of damage as Alburo Crazy takes down a Fury. Syndrak here, and a little bit of a hello there from Alburo Crazy to Syndrak, as he's going to be able to find himself and escape again. And not even a contest at the turtle.
Yeah, the recall dances for the Celebrate, but now once again, Alburo Crazy being crazy versus the 3 players.
And you know, the crazy thing is to me is that I think somebody asked me like who I prefer when it comes to that early game advantage when it comes to Hilda and a Khalid, and I personally prefer Khalid because I like the damage he can do. Syndrak, woo, almost got taken down with that yin yang coming out from a Feshin on the Lu Yi. But yeah, here I feel like we are just not taking advantage of the connection that we have with the Valentina, the damage, the early game. Steph has just been kept at a bay.
Yeah, so it makes total sense here, Private. You're totally right. But now here we're seeing Chino. I don't think that he knows that he about to face the 2 players, but now now we have 2v1.
Yeah, I don't think he's too afraid here. He knows he's pretty tanky. He's going to be able to withstand but Arctic on the backside is going to be looking to maybe close it out. Oh, but we had the diversion come in from 9Z Globant. Absolutely surprised Arctic. It surprised me. I almost couldn't figure out how they got back there. Feshin using the flicker to get back, and he gets taken. You see Hotun gets taken down as well.
I'm almost sure that he wasn't expecting everyone in that Louis ultimate here. in the top side, and once again, and it worked so well for 9Z Globant. 7 kills versus only 1. Luizinho, oh, you might be strong, but you're not immortal, dude, so you better take care. You better be careful. But now he didn't give up. He is there. The party's going on.
Oh, yeah, the entire team. You better tell him again that he's not immortal, because I don't think he's figured it out. He does get taken down there by Titan Esports. Chino finds a kill onto Steffi. Feshin finds one onto Arctic. So 2 down for Titan Esports. They do put themselves up on the board. Houghton finds a kill onto Alburo Crazy, now looking for an escape. 9 and 3 on the board in favor of 9Z Globant.
Yeah, so Sidra can be the next victim here, but now she. Oh!
Gusta La Gusta, absolutely blown apart by Fury, laid down that Zaman Force and dashed in to put so much damage on him. That's going to go ahead and open up a pathway for this first Lord of the game. Steffi trying to be damage control, trying to get the zoning out as Chino sitting here right up in the front. Zaman Force has been laid down onto the ground. Lord down to 25%. The Raging Sandstorm comes out as Chino takes down Fury, looking for the retribution. Luizinho able to find and steal that Lord. Meanwhile, we continue to fight as Arctic is getting pounded on by the roam. Chino looking for another kill, is not going to be able to find it.
Yeah, but now Steph, the team fight still goes on with 2 more kills for 9Z Globant. Luizinho is the thief. He stole the Lord. He stole my heart. He stole everything for 9Z Globant so far. The first line of towers here, there is no longer for Titan Esports, and the Lord is heading on the top side.
Yeah, it's very slow, as you can see the at the bottom, mounting a bit of offense there to go ahead and take down that next tier 2 towers. It's about to be only high grounds left for Titan Esports. Ooh, we have another diversion coming as you see 9Z Globant joining the fight there. Feshin and Gusta Lagusta joining in up at the top lane to kind of accompany this Lord fight. Are we looking at an engagement coming from 9Z Globant? They're all standing in position, but wisely not looking for an engage. They already got everything that they needed. They're down to just the high ground towers on Titan Esports Club.
Yeah, for 9Z Globant here, it is enough to destroy the second line of towers, but look at Alburo Crazy, but now he was spotted. Yeah, oops, okay.
I was about to say, out came that Sentinel there, and Alburo Crazy takes a heap of damage, and that might be enough for him. Stepping inside the bush, Alburo Crazy looking for a disengagement from that team, and unfortunately, Titan Esports just really on the back foot. 6K behind right now at the 11-minute mark. Alburo Crazy dives in against 2 members and is still able to find and escape an evil queller just for the sake of it. Hotun throws that out there and now gonna go clear the bottom lane.
You were saying that Alburo Crazy was looking for disengage. In my head was like, no, he was looking for trouble. That's what he's looking for here for at this point of the game. But now, once again, 9Z Globant, Luizinho with the Beyblade form here, like only buy time, only buying some info for his teammate. As you said about the goal lead here, in average 5K here for 9Z Globant, 35 seconds remaining for the next Lord. That's a very good situation. It's a very interesting advantage for 9Z Globant. Have you seen the damage dealt so far? Alburo Crazy with Hilda is leading the top.
Yeah, that is amazing, especially to come out from your roam, especially when it's not a Khalid who usually leads those damage charts with how much he can end out there. Ooh, Evil Queller. Hotun tried to be able to steal that away. Now, Lord at 3 seconds away, a little bit of engagement up at top. Arctic fighting it out. Is that gonna be enough? Ooh, flickers out into his team. Arctic in trouble, gets bursted down by Feshin.
Yeah, another kill here for 9Z Globant after 13 minutes at 13 kills here for 9Z. The Lord is on the pitch. Here comes the ultimate for Louis at the right time, my friend Private. What in the world?
Yeah, a beautiful diversion coming out from Fashion to put 9Z Globant in perfect position to be able to take out this Lord. I was gonna say we weren't big on the damage that Fashion was gonna be able to do, but if they were gonna be able to take advantage of these diversions, which they have, it was gonna be something that Titan Esports were just not gonna be able to handle. And the map presence is incredible coming from 9Z.
Yeah, another Lord here now heading for a 9Z Globant once again. The situation is a 9Z Globant's composition are not like this a full engage, you know. They don't have the hard engage. They don't have the initiation, but Albora Crazy indeed, he's not like, he doesn't give a damn about that, and he's playing aggressive as Luizinho is playing well, but now the Lord is heading on the mid lane, Private.
Oh yeah, you can see Steffi in a little bit of trouble there as Albero Crazy follows him in. Lord pressing the advantage into the mid lane as the rest of the team gonna go ahead and enforce their will. Another high ground down at the bottom tower. Is Titan Esports going to be able to fend off this attack? I want to say this is where Fashion is going to shine with all the enemies grouped up like this. You can see them trying to jock for a position here. Is it going to be enough? Ooh, Evil Queller is able to connect on the 3 members of a 9Z. They do back up, but only a little bit, trying to bait out some of these fights from Titan Esports.
As we've seen the Curse Helmet, we're seeing the Radiant Armor, the Oracle here for Chino as well. The add things for a Boxa, the Radiant Armor, the Chesties, and the Curse Helmet. So you see the 9Z Globant composition, the most of the players are like taking care. They are aware about like this damage coming out from the magic situation. So, oops.
Oh man, I didn't even see where that was going. They go ahead on the opposite side and they surprise Titan Esports, but it looks like Titan Esports are going to be able to disengage from that fight. Chino going to be able to get away from the rest of the opponents. But man, Fashion right now sitting at 4-1-8. I think the last time I saw 2,000 gold lead over Syndrek, and that's incredible, especially for a Valentina who supposedly can scale so well. And Fashion has taken the lead in the damage charts.
Fashion and Albora Crazy here, the duo form from 9Z Globant so far. Now the high ground here only in the top lane, heading for a Titan Esports. The base is like almost full open here. But 9Z Globant, they don't want to take any kind of a risk. They are waiting probably for the next Lord here to open a situation, to try and find someone lost in the jungle, lost in the sides, for example, on the sides, to take more advantage in this game so far. Malefic Gun guaranteed by Gusta La Gusta. We're not seeing him seem so proactive in this first game, but still it's a carry. It's a strong late game. It's a true damage.
We didn't see it up there, but Albero Crazy still harassing the entirety of the team at the bottom map. They tried to chase him. Now we have another engagement coming out here. Albero Crazy, Gusta La Gusta finds the kill there onto Steffi, but that was enabled by Albero Crazy to try to come in there and find the damage. Now, one player down for the side of Titan Esport. It is 14-4, and are they just going to go ahead? Yeah, I don't think they're going to go ahead and take that fancy diversion from Fashion. They're just going to go ahead and mark their way down. Actually, not even go for the Lord. They want a fight. They're just kind of daring Titan Esports right now to kind of try to come out and get us.
Yeah, marching for the Lord here, but only 10 seconds to Steffi head back in the game again. So I don't think that 9Z is going to start this Lord.
Yeah, it looks like they're looking for a diversion. They keep grouping around Fashion, looking for an angle that they want to come into here. And that's just the teamwork. That's communication. This is what we were talking about, that we wanted to see from 9Z. And who better to really show that off than a Lu Yi pickup? Now they're going to go ahead, start on this Lord Arctic on the backside. Steffi trying to get into position. You can see 9Z Globant getting into position. They want this fight out there. Concealed players out there. Gusta La Gusta is the target. They try to go after it. They're not going to be able to find it. Steffi gets a lot of damage coming out from Fashion. On the backside, Sindrak going to have to use that flicker, but Gusta La Gusta puts the damage on, and down goes Arctic. Now underneath Hotun, looking for an escape as the rest of 9Z trying to chase him down. Luisinho coming in from the backside, putting on the stun, and Fashion finishing the job.
Finishing the job here with the 3 players down, coming up for 9Z Globant. That is the chance that they needed. Oh! But now here comes the end, my friend Private.
Oh, and that is a wrap. Unfortunate for Fury there on the Harith, got surprised by the diversion, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be a 9Z Globant victory.
First win goes for 9Z Globant, Xena.
We are seeing another side of 9Z today. They started off strong and kept it going right here. They, let me look at my notes real quick. Literally killing it by like the 10-minute mark. Chino, he was a driving force already right there. Like 6 kills, no deaths, 3 assists. Then showing all the glues how he's played, and also that Lu Yi, I'm just saying, that perfect timing for her to get them to that Lord. Oh my god, it was amazing to see all of that in action. It was super exciting to watch that match.
I know we had a little bit of concerns when the Lu Yi pickup came out. There's a reason she's kind of stayed out of the meta because some of the damage doesn't really stack up. But I say that, and then she gets the first blood, and then you get the first blood there for Fashion, and then not only that, but the use. It might not have been like the spam use that you usually see when it comes to diversions, but still well executed here, and with the huge ability to be able to surprise Titan Esports Club.
Yeah, all for sure that I can say to you guys is Chino didn't give us the chance to see Glue, like, because he didn't die in this time.
Oh my gosh.
but jokes aside here, guys, jokes aside here, guys, we are seeing that as we are checking out the stats, there was a huge victory coming out from 9Z Globant actually, because as we were talking about before this match starts, there in the Swiss format, in the Swiss phase, Titan Esports was able to win a 9Z Globant in a 2-0, you know. And after the last game coming out from 9Z, we were talking about like, okay, 9Z, it's a very good team with a very good players, but the lack of like the personality, maybe that could be one of the reasons that like they were not like play 100% in their potential, you know. So by the time that the players started talking and starting to be on the same page, it seems that things are starting to work so well for the team, you know, for the teammates. And as we were seeing here in the first game, we were talking about like, okay, maybe this Louis could not be the best choice, but they compensate this lack of mobility with Alboro Crazy and Luisinho playing together with Louis for most of the times, and it gave them the chance to guarantee the kills, to guarantee like this playing style together to get more advantage. And Alboro Crazy, oh my goodness, what a crazy Hilda here from the first minute for 9Z Globant. So this aggression at this time for Alboro Crazy makes a total sense, because the rest of the teams are like on the same page. They were playing together, they were playing aggressive, they were so dynamic. You look at this. I'm almost sure that is it Steffi? No, Arctic. Arctic wasn't expecting like the whole gang from 9Z Globant in that ultimate, you know? So they played so well together as a team, you know, as a full synergy that gave them the first victory.
Yeah, and when it comes to that, it's sometimes I feel like sometimes it kind of comes down to when was the last time that Lu Yi was actually used? And here's that very slippery little ultimate that got them down to the Lord pit so quickly. But I feel like because you haven't seen the Lu Yi in so long, I feel like maybe there was a momentary where Arctic was like, that circle looks familiar. I can't quite place what it does. And then boom, you've got the entire team coming for you, and it's like, oh yeah, that's right. And man, I feel like this is so crazy to see, especially to see a Lu Yi out here.
All right, and here we have it. They dictated the pace and they controlled the outcome. Let's break down our MVP, Chino. I was talking about our little glue here. He was shown all the glues, what it was made of, how to play glue, right? So 608 KDA, 38.8 total damage, and 588 golds per minute. He did an amazing job there, being a front line, being that annoying force. But Alboro Crazy was also an annoying force. They did wonderfully as a team, and this is a side of 9Z, like I said before, that we have not seen in the Swiss stage.
Yeah, so that's a perfect Patrick here. That's a perfect glue coming out from Chino here for 9Z Globant. And as you well said, Zena, that he was a huge front line, not only getting to the resistance situation, but also to isolate some players with the ultimate, with the ability. You see that he was like trying to isolate the players from Titan Esports here to let the rest of the teammates guaranteeing the kills from 9Z Globant. And it worked really well for 9Z to get the